Hi, my name is Daniela, and this is my review for the last book I read in this class. I chose Sharing Cities, Activity in the Urban Commons. First of all, I chose this book because, well, it's related to my career. I'm an architecture student, and I aspire to be an architect and make progress and a little bit of change in this topic that is urbanism and city design. I have been really bound and close to these topics lately. I have been taking some courses and I have been taking some classes during this semester about housing and city and making some articles and writings and analyzing and questioning myself and others about the way that we live, about cities, and studying some scenarios in Mexico that help us understand a little bit the way that we have been growing as citizens, as the way that we learn how to live with the city and people. And well, also I have been reading some books about this topic too. One was about walkable city, about the emergence of traffic in some great cities, and another one that is basic for all architects and designers, urbanism, actually, and that is the Data Life of Great American Cities by Jane Jacobs. And it has a lot of common, and something that I have been really curious about, and it has an impact on me, is that the authors or writers of these books or people that are taking this class also, they are not architects or designers. They are reporters, they are journalists, or just people that they just stay in there, standing there in the cities. They watch people living, they watch the city, and they make the homework of studying, analyzing the way that we live. They actually question themselves how things are being making by architects and also by us citizens, that we have a lot of participation, and I will say at 100% we are in the top list of this piece that helps to make a city right and the way that we live it. And one of many reasons too about getting deeper into these topics, and the reason why I choose this book is because it's in our power. It's us to the ones who have the power to change and make a progress over things that we have already, like this person that says in the book that we are talking about things that we have already. Like, even though we are talking about an utopian world, we are talking about things that we have in our hands. It's really close to us. We talk about water, housing, energy, governance, because this book is divided by these chapters. So she says, it's everything that we have already. Why not make a progress over it and use it and make this utopian world for real? Because it's already in here. So that's one part that had a lot of impact over me these past few months and actually reading this book, that we don't have that analysis over us. I mean, for example, I live in this close place, a fraccionamiento, and now I'm really questioning myself. Yes, it's a good place to live. They provide me a lot of facilities, equipment, spaces, amenities, places to entertain myself, security, and over many things. But it's not inclusive. They provide me the option and the chance to talk to my neighbors. I have this really close space to communicate and to share things, but it's just not helping. I mean, people that it's living in a city, there is a barrier over us, the ones who live inside and outside. So that kind of questions that I have been making myself over the past few months, taking these courses, reading this book, and also taking these cases, it has been really helping me to open my mind into this world, into this utopian world, or not that utopian that we are living actually. We don't question ourselves where we are standing on or the way that we live. Like, we are just like an airplane mode, just passing by, getting walked by the city and getting into one place to another, getting into traffic, and just, yes, we gripe and we make negative stuff about our places, about the cities that we live. But we are not taking anything into advantage. We are not really making an action over it. That's why I really like this book, because it provides cases, studies on all over the world. I think they talk about at least 80 cities over 50 something countries. So it was really entertaining to see that it's actually happened, that it's actually real. And lastly, the name of this book, Caring City. Somehow we think that city is, us as architects, we are responsible for this, for making cities right, making housing right, and designing cities well, so everyone can take advantage over it. But we don't take into account, and we don't see clearly that somehow we are the ones who live in that place, and with our activities and the way that we live, we are going to make a mark over the future of the way that we are really living and taking advantage over things that could benefit us and provide good things over the things that we already have, like water, energy, technology, everything related to that. So I'm going to get close into the book and how is the structure of it. It talked about over 11 contents that is about housing, mobility, food, work, energy, land, waste, water, technology, finance, and governance. Over these topics, they put some scenarios, so cases, some studies over the world. They actually put a map and clearly a specific the exact place where it was this study put on. So there's a lot to learn about these 11 contents, but the one that I got really interested in and really bond with, it was about housing, and specifically one project. The project, it was about Humanitas. It's a senior care and meets a student dorm in shared intergenerational living. This is a kind of this is a project where students got the chance to exchange a dorm, a room to live for only students, in order exchange them in order to help elder people to experience like a more inclusive space to live in. So what they have to do in order to have free accommodations and free rooms to live, they have just to take care of them. So Humanitas Retirement Village is a project where these guys, the students, they have the chance for students to exchange at least 30 hours of their time to take care of older residents, so they can have their facilities, they can live in there and for free. And what impacted me and I was really happy is because the last year in my subject of Proyectos Tres, I guess, we had this project about making a retirement. Well, it wasn't a retirement place. It was more like a place, so we can call it, I just not remember well the name of this. I remember, so the project was called TOY, and it's the initials for Together Old and Young. And the challenge for this project was to make this program for elder people where it is not called retirement or it is not called asilo as it is. So we can break that standard for everybody that, oh, when I get older, I have to go to this place, that it's not inclusive and it's isolation, and there's nothing in there for me. It's just a place where I'm going to end my days. I just die in there because I have no more opportunities and I am getting old and forgotten, etc. So the plan was to break into these rules and to make this place for elder people, but also for young people to connect with them. So I would like to talk about the project that I did, but it wasn't that impact as another one that it was the first place. She made this kind of co-working place that it's really related to this program, the Humanitas. this project she made in the center, she made like a co-work place for young people and elder people to combine and work into something. So the program was for students to combine into this place, the co-work place, to make homework, make I don't know, start a new business, and to work with elder people. And also something that I did in my project, part of my program, was that in the second floor of this place, it was called the Connect. On top of them, I will put rooms for people to take care of them, so they don't feel alone. And these rooms will be shared too with other people, because it is scientific. It is scientific. I forgot the word. It just analyzed that people are happier when they share lives together. So everything just makes sense in here. Sharing life, sharing people, sharing with elder people, young and old, together in one place. So I come into this question, like, is it really a utopian world, the book that I read, or everything that I've been like questioning myself or even designing? It's not. It's things that we have, and I think we can make a progress over things that we already have if we are convinced that we can make a change over it. Another project I got really related, it was the Palmitas Bank. I think it was called like that. That, well, in this place, they don't have just enough money to survive. They are fishermen, and money is not running in there. So the solution for this, they kind of designed this foster local pride, designed by local artists that was kind of cultured. And what they do in these Banco Palms, they aim to keep the money in the local neighborhood, so they can spend the money to ensure local development, but in their own cities. And I really like this concept because somehow, and no kidding, I didn't read this article before, but in my last project, the one that I'm making right now, and we are just finishing, we are making this kind of pavilion of like a market, an organic market, where you can exchange money with the composta. So the thing that you do in this, kind of to support the local consumers and the local sellers, is if you want to buy something in our market, you have to exchange something. If it's organic food, or if it's composta or residuals, everything exchanged to use them in our posta, in our huerto, perdón. So it's really interesting and thankful that our teachers right now and us trying to get a lot of new information that will help us to make a change in architecture, not only in architecture, but the way that we live and the way that we do things, our routines, activities, the way that we earn money. For example, in this project that I'm just talking about, it's this pavilion where you can entertain yourself, you can just pass by and buy things with your own money, or if you want to help our local customers and sellers, we have to change it with just composta, just the things that you don't use in your house. Instead of putting in the garbage, you have to spend it in this market that we are making. So it was fun, it was really interesting, it was really fulfilled to read about this, and somehow to have this idea in my mind that we are making a progress, that it's real, that we are working on things that we have in our hands to make a progress for our own benefit and advantage. So that's my conclusion for this book. There are many, many cases and studies, but I took the ones that I got related because it was fun to read about things that I am making just an academic course and making it, well, seeing it real, that it's really happening and that it's possible, and there is nothing more just to discuss. I'm really grateful for that.